this is Jersey. You're watching The Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. I'm Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomick.
And behind the camera today, we got none other than
Jimmy Parks.
How you doing, Jimmy?
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day to be on the pod.
Beautiful day.
Cho, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. A little sunburnt.
You were out west this week, huh?
Yes, sir. I went to Utah for 5 days. Was in the mountains. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It was so sunny. I'm sunburnt right now.
What were you doing there?
I was snowboarding.
Very nice.
Couldn't wait to be back home though. You know, the mountains are beautiful in Utah, but everything else, like once you're out of the mountains, you just can't wait to get out of there. So
can't wait to get back to Newark.
Home, sweet home.
Liberty International Airport.
Bro, for like the third time, I waited an hour and 10 minutes at Newark for my bags. Hour and 10 minutes. They didn't even give me a voucher this time.
Wow.
It's become the norm, and it's unacceptable at Newark Airport, one of the most congested airports in the United States of America. Awful.
Yeah, Newark is it's a disaster, and I don't know how it gets any better.
It doesn't.
They should have built it like in a place where there's tons of land where they could expand, but instead they put it... I mean, maybe at the time when they built Newark Airport, there was a lot of land there, but I don't know.
So, two crazy things. One, this week I found out that 5 of my photos are going to be on a rotating advertisement board in Newark Airport, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, congrats.
Wow. To Sobo's point, that originally they wanted to turn the whole Pine Barrens into a massive airport. They're going to make it the Pine Barrens Jetport, but that's what spurred the whole Pinelands Protection Act, and that's why we have all this preserved land down there now.
I heard an interview a while back with Jimmy Stewart, one of my favorite actors. It's a Wonderful Life. What is it? Rear Window? Is that it? Or Rear Window, right? All those great classic movies. I don't know. But he was in an interview. He said back in the day, he used to fly planes into a little airport out in the field in Los Angeles. It was a farmer's field, basically. And that became LAX. So at some point in time, everything was nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously. So it's kind of interesting that it wasn't that long ago. But you were going to didn't you want to talk about something on your trip?
On my flight to Utah, I watched Class Action Park, as Josh told me to watch last week.
What'd you think?
And it made me want to grow up in the 80s.
Made me want to live in the 80s and like kind of made me jealous of our parents.
Dude, that place was insane. People were dying left and right, just getting injured every single day. But what was amazing about it was, who was the guy who ran the park or who funded it? What was his name?
I don't remember his name. I'll tell you right now.
It's crazy how the town didn't want to shut it down just because, as bad as a person he was bringing in so much money into the area.
Yep. Gene Mulvihill.
Yeah, Gene Mulvihill. And like hearing the interviews of people who hate Gene for killing their kids, it's actually wild.
It might actually be Gene Mulvihill. But yeah, it's interesting how... I guess when you're a little town in the middle of nowhere and the tax money starts flowing in, you're like, why are we going to shut this guy down?
Yeah.
But I don't know. When they showed the footage of like the vintage nostalgic footage of that area, remember the guy was like, it was a pretty picture perfect town. They have a video of people walking to church and it's like, it was like small town America. And then it became this place for people to, I don't know. It's just kind of sad.
But if you were a teenager and you went to Action Park, like that was a spot to hang out. Like you had a great childhood if you went to Action Park. I would have been there. I
asked my dad, and he said he went one time. So
he did?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Any stories, or did he not remember much?
He doesn't have he's not like the person. Maybe he has some stories. I don't know. I have to ask. Actually, I was going to say he doesn't have the best memory, but he has a really good memory. Actually, he told me something amazing this week that I got to find for this podcast. My dad told me in 1976, this is off topic, but since we're talking about my dad, in 1976, he wrote a letter to the Star-Ledger when they were opening Giant Stadium at the Meadowlands. And he was saying what a travesty it was that the New York Giants were playing in New Jersey, and they published the article.
No way.
Yeah, and I got to find it since we just talked about that on the podcast. I mean...
You could probably look back into the archives, right?
I was trying to figure that out the other night, and I just kind of gave up. But I might have to look. If anyone is interested in looking into it, I mean, we have the Discord going. If anyone's a sleuth. 1976, a letter from John Sobocinski to the Star-Ledger about Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands. Look it up, find it, put it in the Discord. Someone's got to be able to do that, right?
Dude, you should print that out and frame it for your dad as a gift. That's so cool.
My brother was saying, he's like, Dad has it somewhere in an album. Like he cut the article out and put it in an album. If I could find that, I would frame that. It's so funny.
That's so cool.
Put it in my office. Well,
that's a relic.
Jimmy, any interesting buzz in your world before we get into the news?
No, I think the Newark airport thing is the coolest thing that's happened since last week.
That's amazing. That's very cool.
I'm stoked.
I love
Stoked
Jimmy.
State Forest, you mean? All right, you guys ready to get into these stories, man? New
Yes,
Jersey.
sir.
If there's one thing I know at this point, New Jersey never sleeps. There's always some craziness going on, and we have a few dark stories today. They're mainly dark.
All these listeners love the dark stories.
The dark stories sell for sure.
The dark
Let's get
web.
into it. A New Jersey man started at least 6 forest fires in the last 9 months, authorities say.
Finally got caught.
Finally, 6 forest fires in 9 months. That's bold.
You know, like I always thought like it would be hard to find someone for starting a fire, but it's actually pretty easy for these authorities to find these guys.
Yeah, it says Gregory Fullman, 32, was arrested Monday following a lengthy investigation and sent to the Ocean County Jail. No one was injured in any of the flames. Fullman of Manchester set the large fire at Bass River State Forest along the border of Ocean County, once again, Ocean County, and Burlington County. That consumed 617 acres on May 16th, prosecutors say.
There's some sick people out there, dude. Like some people just are obsessed with seeing the world burn, and that's what this guy was. And he finally got caught 6 fires later.
We talked last week about this thing where when you're a kid, you like lighting stuff on fire, but this is different. Like, what is it about an arsonist that makes them go, I'm going to light a forest on fire, and maybe you're going to burn 617 acres, and who cares?
Addiction, man.
Addiction to what?
Addiction is to turning on fires. I
the
don't know.
flames?
Yeah, making fires and
It's a
burning
disease.
things.
It's like an actual
It is a
disease.
problem.
Is being an arsonist a disease?
It's a disease.
You guys are joking.
Swear to
No,
God,
I've heard about
that's
this
what-
before.
Yeah.
What in the world?
He's a very sick man.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't.
Just like some people are addicted to smoking cigarettes, there's people addicted to making fires and watching things burn.
I'm going to do a little research right now. It says,
Give us a definition.
yeah, so it's called Pyromania, which we all know a pyro, but pyromania is a psychiatric condition dealing with impulse control. Arson is a criminal act. It's usually done maliciously with criminal intent. Pyromania and arson are both intentional, but pyromania is strictly pathological and compulsive. Oh, I guess they were defining the difference. I guess what it sounds like is that this is a compulsive act that people have. They're just itching to go light something on fire. And this guy is going to be locked away for a while. It says he has 25 counts of aggravated arson from the last... I don't even know what that equates to, but it's got to be a lot of jail time. I'd imagine at least 10 years, right?
Did it say how they caught him? Like, was there fingerprints on a cigarette or something?
It didn't say, but let me go back to the article and see if we got the scoop at the bottom of the page. That's usually where they hide this stuff.
I don't think it says.
Doesn't say. No, but if you look up his name, he looks like an arsonist. I'm just going to say it outright. Let me pull this picture up. Maybe you could throw this photo on the screen for any of the viewers. The dude's name is Gregory Fullman, and he just looks like yeah, man, I just burn stuff.
He's so sad.
I don't think he's actually sad.
Look at him.
I think
He
he's
looks
like,
defeated.
he just looks like he wants to light that whoever's taking the photo on fire.
He's thinking about the next fire he's gonna light when he's out of there or in there.
Do you think an arsonist has like a method that they like the most? Like are they like a can of gasoline and some matches?
Yeah.
And they flick the match on, or is it like, is there a method to it, do you think? Or do you think it's just like he hops out of the car?
I think Greg woke up on a beautiful Saturday morning, had his cup of coffee, went on his morning walk through the forest, had a little match in his pocket, found the tree he liked, and just lit the match, and boom.
You know, it's funny because in California, I read an article a while back. There was a college professor, I'm pulling it up right now, named Gary Stephen Maynard, and he was charged with arson as well. And he was going around lighting fires, but also I believe he taught something climate related in college. So there was a conflict of interest because he was talking about the wildfires in relation to climate change, and at the same time he was lighting the forests on fire.
What a hypocrite.
Which is kind of interesting because it's like he's got to keep himself in business in a way.
Of course, yeah.
He's like, look, guys, I'm telling you, a fire is going to break out, and then he goes and lights the forest on fire.
He has to prove.
He did 4
He
of
has
them.
to prove the climate change is real.
Well, I mean, it's like he wants to go out and like, can you imagine? That'd be an amazing way to predict something. Like you're in class and you're like, guys, listen, I just have a feeling next week the forest is going to burn. And then guess what happens? They actually arrested him. Like I think he was outside of his car because there's photos of his car, I think.
Yeah.
And they like saw him next to his car and they like got to his car and he was not in his car while the fire was starting. So
Yeah, dude, they lock people up for that kind of stuff.
arson, man. I don't know what gets into somebody's veins that makes them want to light something on fire, but that also kind of leads us to our next story, which is even darker than this one.
Ugh. Let's hear it.
A New Jersey nurse wanted for allegedly setting his coworker on fire in a hospital was found dead.
Darkest story of the week.
Yeah, I read the news this morning and it says he was on the run, and then now just this evening they're saying he was actually found dead. It sounds like it was something suicide related, not fully sure yet. But it says Nicholas Pagano, a 31-year-old contracted nurse at Hackensack University Medical Center, was found dead from an apparent suicide in Winslow Township. He was wanted for allegedly burning a 54-year-old coworker and hitting her with a wrench in the break room early Monday. Bergen County prosecutor Mark Musella said. Pagano attacked the woman with what appeared to be a culinary torch, sources told NBC New York. The victim had third-degree burns to her upper body, face, and hands, as well as a cut to her head that required stitches. So this guy just went completely off, attacking this female coworker. And then I guess, I don't know what the conflict was between them at this hospital.
Wow.
But he apparently ended up killing himself.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, that's so dark. Like, what causes a person to just do that?
First, you got the lady at Clark's shop, right? And now this?
Bro, some people are into some really dark stuff, and some people just truly need help. And this guy definitely needed it, and I'm shocked no one called him out for it earlier. Or maybe he just appeared to be fine. Who knows? You never know what someone's going through.
You absolutely never know what someone's going through, but also I'm sure there's more that will come out in this coming week about this story, like what was going on in the hospital. There's a lot of details that they're not discussing, but to take a culinary torch, like do they even have those in hospitals? I don't know. And then a wrench. Like where do you find a wrench and a culinary torch in a hospital? This sounds like it was probably something he thought about. Maybe he was sick of his coworker. Not that that justifies anything, just kind of trying to speculate a little bit. And he lost it.
Well, thank God the 54-year-old is alive, but she's probably so scarred.
Oh,
just mentally from what she just had to go through. That is just absolutely miserable.
See, you can't say someone has to be so scarred when we're talking about an article with burns.
Well, you know what I meant.
I know you meant. I was just trying to lighten the conversation.
I tried. I tried
There's
to be
nothing light
lightened.
about this. It's terrible all around. She had third-degree burns and
I'm mad he
stitches.
killed himself.
I know.
I want him to face the charges. Like,
it's a cowardly way out, and yeah, just prayers, I guess, for the 54-year-old lady. Hopefully, she's better, and those third-degree burns heal up. Luckily, she was at a hospital, which has to be the best place in the world for this to happen, because they probably rushed her immediately into the emergency room.
so what's a contracted nurse?
I'm
Does that mean
assuming
they don't work full time at the hospital? They're just there because they needed more nurses?
Yeah, I'm guessing a contracted nurse would be someone that gets hired for like a set period of time under contract. Let me look it up though. A contracted RN is someone who completes all the duties and responsibilities of a nurse, but is contracted for a temporary amount of time. Yep. So I guess maybe because the hospital needed help. A lot of people got sick in the last few months.
Yeah.
With the cron, so maybe that's what he was jumping in for. Who knows?
Where was that background check?
Well, maybe he had nothing in his background. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he just set off like that. He just looks crazy in that photo.
The photo of him is even. I mean, we have two arsonists today.
Wait, where's the mugshot from though?
Let me find you the.
Did he have a history?
Wait, that's a good point.
How did they get that mugshot if he was on the run and killed himself? That means he
Wait
had
a
some
second.
previous run-ins with the police.
Wow, wait a second. So ABC6 is saying it appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. Wow.
That could be a license photo.
That is a license photo. Bro, why do we always...
Why do they always look crazy in the license photos?
yeah, that's definitely not a mugshot. But I'm curious.
Those wide open eyes just staring you down.
Yeah, the article doesn't say if he had a previous record, so let's just assume he didn't, and news will come out, I guess.
Oh, dude. You think you're safe. But stuff like this could happen at any point.
It's absolutely insane, and there's just no rhyme or reason why it happens. And just thank God she's alive, and pretty sad for the attacker. What would you call him? The
arsonist.
Arsonist. Another arsonist, man. Fire. What is with fire and people nowadays?
Don't play with fire, kids. It's dangerous.
Play with fire, especially with a kitchen torch. Next up, we got the story everybody's been waiting for. This is the controversial, the big tuna one. Governor Murphy's mask mandate is going to lift for schools across New Jersey starting in March.
Wow. I didn't see this coming. I really didn't until at least the end of the school year. I thought he was going to wait.
I didn't think it was ever going to end. I thought we were just going to live in a masked world forever at this point.
Yeah, I thought like there was going to be more mandates, but it's good to hear. It's really good to hear.
The New York Times is reporting Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey, a Democrat who has imposed some of the nation's most stringent pandemic-related mandates, will no longer require students and school employees to wear masks, signaling a deliberate shift towards treating the coronavirus as a part of daily life.
I love this. I'm so happy that now, after March, it's going to be the parents' decision. Like, if a parent wants their kid to wear a mask in school, then the kid will wear a mask. But if the parent doesn't want the kid to wear a mask, he doesn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, I think part of the issue with this is, especially when you see the masks that kids wear, they all have they're wearing cute little kid masks, and they're like cloth. So they're not really doing anything unless it's like an N95 mask we now know. So to me, I'm like, is it doing anything? Can we verify it's doing anything at this point? I doubt it. And the other thing is, like you said, maybe it should just be a parent-to-parent decision. Like, your mom is real concerned about it, and she makes you wear a mask, and another mom is maybe like, you already had it, or we had it, don't wear a mask. I think it's, one of those things that people aren't stupid, and I think if we leave people to make their own decisions, that's probably just the best bet. I don't know.
And you got to think about some of these 5-year-olds. They've been wearing masks for more than half of their lives, and they've grown into wearing a mask being normal. And I was reading on Reddit, a lot of the comments were saying, my 5-year-old is fine wearing a mask. They don't mind the mask. Yeah. But that's because that's all the kid knows. Like, your kid doesn't know anything better. He started wearing a mask at 2.5 years old.
Well, I do wonder. I mean, I know that we've never had a pandemic in our lifetime, so I guess the response has been they've had to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But I do wonder if in 10 years we're going to have a lot of socially awkward teenagers that have issues with I don't know, just communication, face-to-face communication.
Only
course, because
it's already bad in our generation.
Our generation's terrible at it.
I can't imagine what the little kids
if you think about it, when you wear a mask, it's like you're covering, I guess, 2/3 of your face and a lot of your eyes maybe are the most expressive part of your face. Yeah. Maybe your mouth. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I do wonder if it's going to be, there will be some sort of psychological thing there. I don't know. That's just, I'm making that up right now. But you have to wonder, because it's like you said, if you were 2.5 to 5, that's got to be very developmental.
You don't really remember anything before 4 years old. You know, you're just so young at that point. But this story, it goes in so many different directions.
Yeah, it's very divisive.
We'll have an argument with someone. No one's ever going to agree on this subject. But just to say, you're going to have kids growing up, what you were saying, always wearing a mask, scared to take off a mask, I think.
Yeah, I mean, NJ.com, I saw NJ.com did a poll on their Instagram, which I'm assuming NJ.com is just the general populace of New Jersey. I don't know what age group that is, Democrat, Republican, Murphy lover, Murphy hater, I don't know. But on NJ.com, on their Instagram, they did a poll saying, are you in favor of the mask mandate for schools being removed? And I think it was 60% of people, I think it was 70% of people said they were in favor of it. Now, that poll tells us it's not an actual, I don't know who administers polls, but based on that, it sounds like a lot of people are, after this last 2 months where a lot of people got sick, and the Omicron was not as severe as Delta or anything, I think a lot of people kind of opened up to the idea of okay, we could probably begin trying to move on from this as best we can. And
of course, yeah.
I don't know what the solution is at this point. I don't know when we go, hey, it's collectively time. It's a good time for us to all take off the mask. I don't know what, it's such a divisive thing, and it's people are so angry on both sides of it, but I don't know what you were waiting for at this point. I think it's it's the type of thing that everybody's going to get COVID at this point.
No, I agree. And during December with Omicron, I feel 95% of the people I know had Omicron. Everyone around my roommates had COVID. Everyone who
you get
came
it?
over, everyone who came over my house in December, that Christmas week, got COVID. I didn't get COVID. I still haven't got COVID once, even when I lived with you.
That's crazy. Yeah, we lived together when I got big boy Delta too.
I'm waiting. Just
I think
I'm
I had
waiting to
Delta.
get
I had
COVID.
whatever I had was the real COVID, not what everybody else
Yeah,
got.
because you lost your taste and smell for a minute.
Oh man, it was wild. I mean, I kicked it in like a day. I'm gonna brag a little bit. I had a fever for a day, and then I was just congested for like 4 or 5 days straight.
I watched the TikTok I made of you today.
But yeah, but the thing is, you had to quarantine from work, as did Jesse, our other
Yeah.
roommate, and neither of you got it from me. It was
Josh
crazy.
was like, I give you guys 2 days to get COVID. And 2 days later, we didn't get COVID. We kept getting tested. And finally, Josh got better. We all tested negative, and I'm still negative. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think that are watching this video? Are you in favor of the mask mandate being lifted? Are you saying free the kids, or are you saying keep the masks on? I'm worried about the safety of my kid. Let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of schools are. There's a few schools who are actually not going to be lifting the mask mandate, though.
Can they do that?
Private schools can, right?
I have no idea how that. I think districts. See, this is where it gets
I
confusing.
have to look more into it because I saw some articles about some schools saying they're not going to follow Murphy's mask lifting mandates. I don't know.
My sister's on the board of education in her town, and she was saying that she was saying something similar. Like some towns may not. So I don't know. At that point, I don't know. See, here's where legally things get so weird because a mandate to begin with, I don't know what the legality is around that. Like, how does that work out in court? I don't know. I don't know how it all works out. And does a school district have the legal authority to mandate that then when there's some parents that are going to flip out and some parents that are going to, everyone's going to flip out no matter what happens.
Yeah, there's always going to be a fight.
So
there's no solution. It's just going to be bad.
Can I just say, I cannot wait to be that dad that goes to school board meetings and flips out.
Bro,
I want to be that guy that shows up and just is like upset about something. Not because I'm like an angry person, but just because it's like,
you got to get that experience.
listen, we're mad about everything in this world. We're mad about politics. Everyone's mad about stuff that like they can't really control outside of voting. You can go to a school board meeting. You can go to your town hall meeting. I remember one time I went to the town hall meeting with my dad. They were trying to build an apartment complex that would have been a disaster in the town he lives in. And we rolled up and there were like 60 people in this room, angry, screaming at the board of chosen freeholders. And it was just such a fun time, man. It was like, this is what it's all about. Let your voice be heard.
I remember I was jealous that you didn't text me to come. I wanted to come show up just to be a part.
It was, this one lady was flipping out in the back of the room. And like, I agreed with her, but I was also like, come on, relax. Like, we get it. We agree with you, but there's better ways, man. I don't know. So maybe I won't be that. Maybe I won't be the dad.
You got to do it at least once, then get out.
I think it'd be
Just get
like
it out of yourself.
You don't want to be the notorious angry dad.
Yeah, because if you keep showing up, they're gonna know. They're gonna be like, "Oh, here's Sobo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Here's
that guy.
old man Sobo again."
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy.
So with that, I don't know. Let us know in the Discord what you guys are thinking. Are you masked up for life? Next story is even more interesting than the last three, possibly. Are you ready?
I think so.
In Linden, New Jersey, human teeth and hair were found on the grill of a car.
I'm not surprised. Every week there's something crazy.
Bro, you ever drive on St. George Ave?
Oh yeah, all those car dealerships.
I'm telling you, if you drive on St. George, I feel like I could run a person over, not even realize it, any day of the week.
So wait, with this story, they found the human teeth at the car dealership, like while someone was trying to buy a car.
No, so this lady took her car to a Goodyear service center, and it says they found more than the usual winter buildup of salt, sand, and slush when they put a car up on the lift on Monday morning. The customer said she felt something while driving, according to the Linden police spokesperson. Investigators, this is where it gets crazy. Investigators said the car was one of several that ran over a body on the New Jersey Turnpike in Union County in December.
What?
According to Gunther, the woman was unaware of what she had hit and will not be charged.
Hold up. Oh, wait. So there was multiple cars that ran over a body on the turnpike?
Only in New Jersey can you run over a body on the turnpike and be like, I don't know what happened. And the police are like, well, she doesn't know what happened. We got to let her go.
Was it that bad? Like, they thought it was like animal roadkill that they were just running over?
Well,
Or was it super dark?
I don't know. Maybe it was dark outside. We can't say. But can you imagine working at a service center and you're like, oh, there's teeth and hair, and like that usually.
Bro,
my thought when I read the
what?
when I read the headline, I was thinking, oh, like they hit a deer and there's teeth and hair. But no, the forensic analyst confirmed it was human teeth and human hair.
Oh my gosh.
That's very dark.
No, that's so there was a story about a person that got ran over multiple times on the turnpike.
That's
Like,
a great
what?
question. Let me look this up.
Look that up because, bro, like not everyone just drives over a dead body on the turnpike or a highway. Like if you see a body in the road, you're gonna stop and it's gonna get investigated. So the roadkill must have been really bad. Like you've seen like deer dead on the roads and like all this other things, but I guess it was that bad. They thought it was an animal.
Here's what I found. New Jersey State NJSP. Jimmy, what's NJSP?
State police.
Oh, duh. New Jersey State Police investigating a death on New Jersey Turnpike at exit 7A in Robbinsville. No, it couldn't be it because they said Union County. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know. We'll have to loop back around and try to figure out what happened with the human teeth. But nonetheless, crazy that you could run over a body and not know. Think about running over a body on the turnpike.
I don't want to think about that.
No, don't think about it. But like, it would be like a...
No, yeah, it would be pretty brutal.
There would be a thud at least, and
unless it was just ran over so many times. And
no, this is the issue with the potholes in New Jersey. This is why we need to fix these potholes. You can run over a dead body and think, I probably just hit a pothole. Whatever, I'm moving on.
We're so used to it in Jersey, you just don't know.
And this is the other thing with Jersey drivers. New Jersey is such a unique place. They talk about New York drivers. New York drivers are crazy. PA drivers are crazy. Jersey drivers were also crazy. It's all a different breed of human. If you're not from New Jersey, I'm just going to say it. We're built different.
Always, dude. Yeah, we've been.
I don't know. What do you gotta say for us, Jimmy? Anything back there? What do you think about this?
All I keep thinking about is like one time Shelby, your wife and I were driving together and she ran over like a squirrel.
Hold on.
Oh, Jimmy.
You were driving with my wife. Whoa. You can't open the story like that, Jimmy Parks.
Jimmy, you're comparing a squirrel to a human body.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was a squirrel and you really felt it jolt. Imagine if you run over a body.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It must have been pretty flattened out.
Jimmy, who was driving? You or her?
It was Shelby.
It sounds like my wife.
That poor squirrel.
She's hit a squirrel or two in her time, but you know.
Was the squirrel alive when you hit it?
Yeah, it was running across the street.
You were the first.
Jimmy. You ever hit an animal with your car?
I hit a deer, dude. Sucks. I hate deer.
I would not.
Knocked out my headlight, dude. I could have been killed.
I've hit animals with my car before.
Like what? What animal?
I'm trying to remember. I just know I've done it. Like, I think I hit a raccoon one time.
I used to aim for the squirrels. Like, you see them starting to run. Like, I would, like, swerve and try to hit one. I never got
That'd
one.
be a really fun video game. Like, if you can make it super high quality, like, I don't know what you call it.
We can make a Garden State video game, and then we add, like, a feature to it where you have to, like, kill, like...
Oh, my goodness.
And, like, squirrels and, like, rodents that are running across the road, or, like...
I just thought of an app idea that we should make. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Don't say it. Someone's going to take it.
Oh, hold up. I want to write that in here.
Type it.
I'm going to write the name.
The Garden State video game, we're going to have so many crazy mini segments.
That's the name of it. Tell me what you think of the name without saying the name of it.
Yeah, I like that. That's hot. That's hot.
We got to make that app, dude. That's a good idea.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what this lady was doing.
She didn't get to keep the teeth.
As a keepsake?
What if it was her teeth and she just planted it there?
Well,
she killed someone.
She'd be missing teeth, and also the forensic people probably would have matched the teeth to the dead body.
Oh, so they did match the teeth.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, Jimmy.
That's wild, dude. Jersey.
Jimmy, how often do you think dead bodies, are found on major roadways in New Jersey?
Probably pretty frequently.
Yeah,
I would have to think.
I remember I think it was November or December, a Newark cop hit a guy walking on the Parkway up near like Bloomfield, and apparently the story goes he went back, picked up the body, and brought it home. He was driving. He was drunk driving, and he brought it home to his dad, who was also in law enforcement. Was like, "What do we do with it?" And his dad was like, "Are you out of your mind?" From what I understand, and that's I'm at least speculating. And the kid is probably going to go to jail for a very long time.
Dude.
So I guess this happens a lot. Here's the real question. Okay, so first off, no, and you should never drink and drive. That's like, obviously, and it's disgusting. But the other question in my mind is, why are you walking on the Garden State Parkway at night or the Turnpike at night? I'll never understand this when I see someone walking on the Parkway.
More drunk people.
Yeah, maybe they're both under the influence.
Could be on drugs, high on something.
What if you ran out of gas? You're trying to get to the gas station, your car broke down.
Yeah, but that's never the story.
You never know. Your cell phone
if
dies.
You're not walking on the shoulder, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk more like.
I would agree with
in.
Chomek. I feel like there's something. I don't know. We'd have to see the toxicology report on the guy that died in that story.
I run out of gas. I'm calling AAA.
If I run out of gas, I'm calling you because I know you'll come give me gas.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna call all my friends, and if they don't answer their phones, I'm calling AAA.
Josh is the worst person to call. He's probably barely has any gas in his tank anyway.
Well, why do you think?
true.
Why do you think
He'll
I
run
was
out on the way to get you?
Why do you think I was late today to our shoot?
You know what's amazing is
Gas.
with gas being so expensive now, I only go get gas at Costco, which means I'm always on the verge of disaster. So I have to wait like a week to get gas because Costco's really annoying to get to.
How much did it cost you to fill up?
I didn't even see the number. I filled up Shelp's car yesterday, and she has a Nissan Rogue, and it was like $50-something bucks, and she has a small tank. And it was I think it was $3.19 a gallon at Costco in Union. So that's that. I don't know.
I paid $68 the other day.
That's disgusting.
That's my peak right now. I was like pretty empty, so like I haven't surpassed $68, but it was bad. Like I had to go to an expensive gas station too because I was like my car doesn't tell me how many miles I have left because it's older.
Yeah.
But it was on E for a very long time. So
Cho, am I making this up in my mind, or was gas under $2 a gallon just a few years ago? Was that real? Was it like
Jimmy?
$1.98?
Yeah,
at
it
one
was
point?
when I was in college. I remember driving home on Route 1 and gas was like $1.95, $1.90.
We didn't know what we had.
dude, it was so good.
All right. Well, on to the next story. This is another one that's kind of, what is going on with the news?
Super dark.
Forbes is reporting that the numbers don't add up for the struggling American Dream mega mall.
And everyone's jaw dropped because we're in shock.
Yeah, they're saying American Dream's owners have once again tapped their reserve fund to make a debt payment, this time leaving only $820.23 in the fund, as multiple news outlets pointed out. Yes, you read that right. There is only $820.23 left in the reserve. They're broke. American Dream, I'm telling you, they built that mall on a Native American burial ground. It's cursed. They need to knock it down, do something else there. Make it a park.
Dude, at the snowboard, the park, whatever, the snowbird ski park, what is it called?
Yeah.
It caught on fire.
Yeah, that place caught on fire last year, dude.
No, it did not.
Yeah, it hasn't been open in 6 months. It's still closed.
I still have not been to American Dream. I don't know. I might just try to ride it out and never go.
No. We're going to go. We have to go check it out, dude. We have
That'd
to
be a
do
good
it
video.
just for the review, the memes, all of it. Maybe go a little ice skating session, hit the water park, see SpongeBob and Patrick. Got to do it. But the place is trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because if you think about it, what's happening right now is malls are dying in general, and what a great time to build the biggest mall ever. I don't know if it's bigger than I don't know. What's the big mall in Minnesota?
No, well, this is the same company that built the American Mall of America in Minneapolis. So
Okay.
this is like another mall of theirs, but it might be bigger or like
Really?
around the same size. Don't quote me on it, but it's not how it used to be.
What do you guys think? Do you think American Dream is going to die a slow death and be a faint memory, or do you think they're going to make it through? I still haven't been. Leave a comment. Let us know.
I think it might make it.
On that note, we have a guest that wants to call in, our good friend Ryan Abe,
South Jersey native.
a South Jersey native. He just recently created a show called Reality House on YouTube. Got like a few million views an episode. He's killing it out in LA, but he grew up in South Jersey, and he said he wants to call in and talk about the malls.
I love it. Let's bring him on.
Okay.
Ryan's a good guy. Jersey native, born and raised. The kid loves Jersey, probably as much as we do. Even though he's not here now, he's just out in LA for a little bit working.
Yeah.
But he will be back. And he's from South Jersey. So
South Jersey.
people are always calling us out for hating South Jersey. Our friends live in South Jersey.
Yep.
We're all one.
That's the craziness is the man is a South Jersey guy, and people say we discriminate. No. We have never discriminated. We love our South Jersey friends, and here he is now calling in. Hey, Ryan, you're on the Garden State. How you doing tonight, bro?
First time caller, long time listener. How are you guys?
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Ryan. So we just read an article to our listeners that Forbes is reporting the American Dream Mall, the huge mall in the Meadowlands, apparently only has $820 in the reserve account. And my point that I was trying to make was this is a trend we're seeing in New Jersey. Malls are dying. What do you think about it?
Whoever wrote that article, they've probably been in the Morristown Mall. Any of my South Jersey brethren out there knows how much of a struggle that mall has been since the heydays of maybe 2003 to 2009. I think there might be 11 stores total in the mall at this point, so I'm sure that doesn't help revenue.
Yeah, it's crazy because, well, what's the other mall right near there? Is it the Cherry Hill Mall?
Yeah, Cherry Hill Mall, and then there's the Deptford Mall. It's kind of like a trio of malls in that area.
Which is the heavy hitter? Like, what's the mall you're going to if you want to go to the nice one?
I mean, Deptford used to be the one where you had a little money if you went there. They had the Hollister back in the day when that was a big deal. And then the Cherry Hill Mall was like the AAA ball club. Morristown Mall was like the single A. Just help you make it into the show type thing.
Well, that's funny because remember, Josh, growing up, we'd go to the Woodbridge Mall. And the Woodbridge Mall is now dead. And then there was Menlo Mall. Mm-hmm. And what we're seeing now with Menlo Mall is kind of on its last. I mean, it's still in a good shape, but it's not as good as it was 10 years ago. And it just feels like malls are slowly like decaying. I don't know what's going on.
What I've noticed is a lot of malls have turned into it being a movie theater that is probably 80% of the cars. And then it kind of makes it look like a mall is more crowded than it is, when in reality, like, people just want to see Spider-Man or something. They're not going to Spencer's.
Well, right now, I feel like with online shopping and how popular that is, that's why all malls are kind of like falling apart. Everyone's buying things on Amazon.
But where do people go? Like, were you guys like me? Like, I was
a mall rat.
Only a couple places to go. I would just go to the mall, and it was just a drop-off point for me and my friends. My mom would just drop us there.
Me and my friends would just
people go.
They don't, Ryan. We're all going to be living in the metaverse soon, shopping in metaverse malls.
It just doesn't have the same smell and aroma. Okay,
No.
It's not the same.
You can't smell Auntie Anne pretzels in the metaverse. But I will say, people seem very nostalgic for malls online nowadays. Like, there's a lot of like TikToks I see of malls in the 80s, and people are like, "Oh, I wish I could have lived this." And it's like, you still can. Like, they're still there.
They still exist. They still are there.
Yeah,
You have to make the memories.
I think that there's a few tells in New Jersey malls. Like, there's a kiss of death for a few malls, and I've noticed it. And I was talking to Lorenzo about this recently, actually, a mutual friend of ours. And Lorenzo and I were saying the first tell that a mall is going downhill is now they get those sneakerhead stores in them.
Yes.
Like, they always have crazy names like Kicks Universal.
And it's very bright and white in the store, and there's like 600 pairs of $1,100 shoes.
Yeah. And you don't know who the owner is. You don't know anything about it, but they all are kind of the same. There's always like a Supreme. They always have some crazy Supreme, like big ticket item, like a Supreme canoe hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, there's no salvaging when a mall goes that route, because that means that the hype beasts have won. And I think malls were traditionally, like my grandfather and my grandma, they loved a store called Suncoast Video. It was a very nice kind of like VHS and music pop place, okay? Kind of like FYE before FYE.
Yes.
And when that closed, my grandfather stopped going to any mall that did not have that store, and he never went again. I'm not even kidding. So when the stores like KB, okay, if anyone remembers KB Toys, Sam Goody,
classic,
Suncoast Video, okay, any of our 20-year-old plus listeners here, they know that that's when things went downhill. When you get Kicks USA, there's Jordans everywhere. I don't need Jordans every step of the mall, okay? I want some sort of decorational wrestling set, or give me like a VHS collector's edition of a John Wayne movie. I don't want sneakers.
Ryan, you're taking me back talking about the VHS tapes, and it's just what we're seeing, and this is the weird thing, is ever since the whole Blockbuster death, we're seeing all of these places that we've known and loved in our childhood dying to Amazon and Netflix and whoever else can get their hands on it, which is amazing to me that the Kick stores are even open in the mall. Like, who wants to go to a mall to buy shoes anymore? Just get them online, But at the same time, I want to go to the mall because I don't want it to die. I don't want it to be a thing of the past. Like my kids, I
Here's
feel like
what I think will happen.
Yeah.
I'm truly not kidding when I say this. I think eventually, if malls like shut down, or it's tough to shut down a mall because they're so big, right? But like if malls start to really truly close fully, I do feel like people eventually will genuinely miss having the freedom to go to a mall, even though it may not be there anymore. And maybe some sort of renaissance will return, and the mall rats can rejoice. But I feel like we're still probably like another decade away, like you said.
Ryan, I remember our first few times hanging out when I came down to South Jersey. Like, we would film a video, and then we got bored. And what would we do? You would bring me to Cherry Hill Mall. And we had a great time, dude. I remember those times, and they were great memories for our friendship, at least.
I used to film videos there. The free sample ladies were always sweet and didn't mind being on camera.
So easy back then, dude.
It was just a different time. I think maybe that's why. Maybe malls remind us of maybe a simpler time in life. Things are getting a little crazy now, a little stressful. Like Josh said, the metaverse, maybe it doesn't smell as good as a Cinnabon. I'll just say that.
Yeah, here's the other
Outta
thing
here.
is like everything does move in a cycle. Like we see like Furby's had a 10-year reunion 10 years ago, and now we're 10 years from that. And like everything has a reunion, everything has a cycle. But the reunion, while the sting of it is pretty awesome, that's not a good word, I guess, sting, but the thrill of it's awesome. It always fades off into the oblivion. Like every reunion show on Netflix, they brought back Fuller House, and they always bring these things back.
Came back.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and we're like, yes, finally. And then in a year, you don't care. So like, I don't know if the malls, I could see like a mall making a comeback, and then we like eventually it's a cycle. We'll be right back where we are, and like, I think the inevitable end of malls is upon us, and I don't know. Maybe that's doom and gloom.
I really don't see it dying. We still have at least 30 years with malls. Every weekend, dude, the mall parking lot is jammed.
That's true.
Every mall you go to, it's jam packed, no matter how crappy the mall is. So that's why I think we're still 30 years out.
Hey Ryan, you ever go to that Westfield Mall in
Culver City?
Is that where it was, Joe?
Yep.
Yes, we don't like it here.
Why don't you like it?
The parking garage is a mess, and it's just a mall in general that is a cluster of stores. And it's one of the malls. We go to the Topanga Mall here. That is like a large, almost. What's the big one by you? Is it Paramus? What's that one?
Garden State Plaza.
Garden State Plaza.
Which is Westfield.
That one
It's Westfield owned.
It's like that. But yeah, the other one in Culver City is not a big hit for my friend group and I.
Ryan, one time I was walking through that mall with Chomik, and believe it or not, this was VidCon 2013 or 11?
No, like 11, I think.
And Fred comes up to him and is like, "I'm such a big fan of you." And it was Fred versus Josh in real life, dude. It was just such a beautiful YouTube historic moment.
Who won the fight? Who won the brawl?
I'd have
We
to
hugged
say
it out, bro.
Chomik did.
We hugged it out.
You had a harder hug, probably. You're taller.
I also saw Ryan Higa there, and I had a fangirl moment.
We also
Is there
saw
anyone celebrity that you've seen that's not an influencer? Have you ever seen at the mall? Like, I'll tell you one that I've seen, and you'll laugh, and then I'll tell you the story after you.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, it was the Cherry Hill Mall was like 2004 or 5, and I had to go into a Hallmark because I was getting my girlfriend at the time, a 14-year-old girlfriend at the time in like 8th grade, a card, and Kelly Clarkson, the literal singer from American Idol, I guess was doing a tour stop with American Idol. Just so happened to be buying a card in that Hallmark. So the Morristown Mall has to stay open for that reason, let alone.
Do you ever listen to Since You've Been Gone and think of that ex-girlfriend?
I think of Kelly in the mall more than I think of the ex.
I don't think I've ever seen like a famous person at the. Have you, Cho?
Yeah, I mentioned in the podcast a few weeks ago. Who's the football player?
Nick Mangold.
Yeah, I ran into Nick Mangold of the Jets at Short Hills Mall.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, "What up?"
How'd you know it was him?
Well, my friend John, he was like, "Dude, that's Nick Mangold," and I had no idea who it was. Like this big, bulky, long-haired dude wearing flip-flops.
He's built like a Viking.
Yeah, dude.
Stands out.
So of course I had to. Like, John was nervous. I was like, "Let's just get a picture." So I asked him, and he was like a really nice guy.
You know, Ryan. Also, I didn't see this in person, but I saw it on Twitter. Fetty Wap went to the Garden State Plaza Mall and made it rain just a few years ago, which was really
I saw that clip.
great to see him giving back to the community. I think he's in prison now, though.
I think that maybe that's why he's in prison. Maybe he threw millions of dollars at the mall, and it was a tax evasion thing.
Whoa, that's an interesting theory.
Or just,
maybe hiding some money
getting
there.
caught with a ton of drugs in his car.
Oh yeah, he was dealing drugs. That's why he was dealing drugs.
That too. Maybe that was it too.
Well, Ryan,
Yeah,
thank you for calling in. When you
course.
come back to New Jersey again, we want to have you as an honorary guest at the table to talk New Jersey news.
I'd be honored.
You know, no matter how far you go from Jersey, you can't really get it out of you. It's just a part of your life.
Even if I go to Beijing, I still think about the Cherry Hill Mall.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to
It'll never leave me.
Beijing.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. And I love the podcast. I've been watching. I've been listening in, and I'm a big fan.
Thanks, bro.
Ryan, we love you, miss you.
Talk to you later,
Take care, bro.
You too. See ya, Jimmy.
Bye.
Bye.
What a guy.
Jimmy, he said bye to you.
Bye, Ryan.
Oh yeah, Jimmy can't hear our calls currently.
With our technology at the moment, Jimmy does not have headphones on. So sorry, Jimmy. He missed everything.
It's whatever.
That was an awesome conversation with Ryan, a real historian.
One of our favorite people in the
Yeah.
whole entire world, Ryan Abe.
Hey, by the way, as we close out, I was thinking, I'm looking at you right now, and you're wearing that very handsome hat on your head, and I'm wearing a hoodie that says the same thing.
Ooh, want to tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so this is really random for our listeners. This is not sponsored, but recently a young guy sent us some merch for this brand, Morrow.
Morrow. I hope we're saying that right.
I believe it's Morrow.
Morrow.
It's pretty clean, and I remember being a young lad and making merch and just enjoying the process of trying to make a product. And I can empathize with the young creative. So he sent it to us, and we wanted to give him a little shout out. I don't remember what his Instagram is offhand.
Plug him.
Let's plug him, because you know what? There's plenty to go around.
Hat fits great. It's like these are like my favorite fitting hats. So look at this trucker.
Looks clean for the viewers. The people
Looks
that can watch.
very clean.
If you go on Instagram, Morrow Supply, Moro Supply, check him out. Show him some love. Tell him the Garden State sent you. Thanks, dude, for sending us the merch. Love it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just when I see someone else creating something, it gets me kind of hyped. And I specifically want to take time apart to talk about it before we close out our podcast. So
Yeah, Josh and I had a clothing company in 2013 called Rage Supply Co.
Rage Supply Co. My freshman year of college, dude.
And then our friends Steven and Chris had Stay Nice Co.
Yeah.
And it was like a battle between clothing companies, and we were all just creating.
I'll never forget. I designed the Rage shirt, and we printed like this dark blue ink on a black T-shirt. And I'll never forget when it came in the mail. We ordered a ton of them, and we were on your front steps wearing it. And then we got a hoodie that was super sick as well. And there's something about that feeling of just making something, and that was such a fun period of life. Freshman year of college, I remember I was at UCC, Union County College, or as I like to call it, University of Central Cranford.
One of the best schools in the nation.
Amazing school, up there with Yale and the rest of them.
Easily.
But yeah, so remember that? Remember those days?
Dude, I miss going to UCC and coming home, just making YouTube videos and chilling. We would hang out at the UCC library when we were bored. Just go walk around the basement, especially. No one was ever in the basement. It's a good spot.
I wore that hoodie for years.
Bro, I wish I still had one. Unfortunately, we sold out, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because they were just off the shelves.
Yep.
So yeah, I missed that time. I wish I kept like all those samples, and
Did we ship them ourselves?
we did. We used to ship all the shirts ourselves. Like we had a whole production going in my garage.
How do we sell them? Do we have a website?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made a website for us.
No, I did not.
Yeah, go to Rage. It's probably because we don't pay for it unless
Go to
you're still paying.
archive.org.
Archive.org?
Yeah. Shows you all old websites.
Let's see if I can find our old website.
Oh yeah, Wayback Machine.
Rage Supply.
Was it .co or .?
I don't think we had .co at that era.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
my goodness.
Is this it? .com?
RageSupplyCo.com.
Wait a second. Let's see the
Wait,
screenshot.
what?
Oh my goodness.
Classic Rage Tea. Yeah, that's our website.
Yeah, that's our website.
Wait, go to another one. See if there's an actual image.
2012.
Do that. Good call, Jimmy.
The internet is so strange.
It's like another random
man.
one from there. Maybe we could have an image.
How do they do this? Oh,
Why aren't they popping up, Jimmy?
Classic Rage. We were selling hoodies for $25. That's so cheap.
Yeah, dude, we could have made so much more money. we were too nice.
Remember we went to the Newark courthouse and we registered our LLC, and it was just
Bro, we did everything officially.
by the book. That was a really exciting little experience. Let me open this screenshot and see if anything comes up. I don't know. We don't have to reminisce on the pod, I guess, but just classic times. And
Well, Josh, speaking of merch.
yes. Oh, yes, yes.
A lot of people have been asking about some Garden State merch. And it's not out yet. I'm not going to plug anything right now, but we got some merch coming soon for you guys.
We are making merch within the next few weeks. We should have something available for you guys.
Be on the lookout.
Going to start simple, probably, maybe a tee and a hoodie, and work our way out.
So if you are on our Discord as a member, you will get notified immediately when we drop some merch.
Yeah, let's do an early drop on the Discord.
Oh, yeah. Before anyone else, the Discord is getting the drop first. Yeah. And if everyone on Discord buys at least one shirt, we'll probably sell out really quickly.
What we should do is something special with Discord users. Like if you buy a piece of merch, you're invited to a pizza party we're having.
No, yeah, we got to do a lot of fun
Wait a
things
second.
like that.
That's a great idea. A T-shirt is a ticket to a pizza party we're going to have.
True. Hey, that's a great sell.
Where can we have the party, though?
Jimmy, is your house open?
Of course, my mom loves having people over.
Okay, so
Well,
here's the
we'll
idea.
talk to Jimmy about it.
Here's the idea. I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We are going to sell merch. If you buy a T-shirt, there are going to be 2 slices of pizza reserved for you at a pizza party this summer.
And we're not getting cheap pizza. This is like 8+ pizza rated.
8+ pizza?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we're not going to go cheap.
Okay, so let's talk that through and figure it out.
But anyway, yeah, Garden State on Discord. Go to our link tree in our Instagram, YouTube, TikTok bios. You'll find us there. Join the party. A lot of things happening in the Discord. It's my favorite place. Shout out to Aiden, our Discord user of the week.
Yo, Aiden, you better be listening to these podcasts, man. You make me laugh every time you leave a comment.
Aiden, if you're listening to this right now, find a random photo of Josh and I deep fry it 5 times and throw it into the general chat.
He is our certified weatherman.
Yes.
He is the deep fried meme agent for the group.
Meme lord.
I'd like to add him as a correspondent for us at some point. Like he's like a field correspondent for this podcast.
He's really providing a ton of information for us.
It'd be really cool to send him out into the field and like let him go talk to people on Rutgers campus about, I don't know, something. But yeah, that's something for down the line. We can talk about that.
I'm excited, man. A lot of awesome things happening with the podcast. I love all this. Thank you, everyone, for the support. We love you all.
Love you all. God bless New Jersey. God bless America. Whew. Let's keep up the good fight, Jersey.
We got this.
Third state in the union. A lot of history, a lot of good stuff happening, and we're not done yet.
No, not even close.
Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Later.
You're watching The Garden State. The Dirty Jers.